more aggressive, and we're about to find out what the map is.
Cloud Kingdom is going to be the choice for this game. And to be honest, I would play standard. I would say let's not take any overly risky strategies and just try and play normally and just look for weaknesses in the opponent.
Yeah, it definitely would make a lot of sense. Even though this is a double elimination bracket, I believe, right? Um,
I don't think it's double
oh, it's
elimination.
it's not? Okay. Well, then that actually makes it even more important that you don't end up losing this ace match. It would make a lot more sense to play standard because when you go for those kind of builds that we saw in the previous two games, they tend to be a bit more
Or maybe it
risky.
is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, we have in the bottom left ROOT.Slush. He's going to be the orange Zerg going up against binski.LighT, who won the last game with a really cheesy play. And we're going to be seeing this deciding game number 3 between these players that will be going through on this best of 3 Cloud Kingdom game.
Yep, and I mean, what do we generally tend to see out of, Terran players on this map, Xander? I mean, Cloud Kingdom, really, really big, but it's also really well known for having a lot of different choke points, and I feel like there are a lot of possibilities for Terran on this map.
I'm definitely thinking we're going to be seeing heavy tank play. Cloud Kingdom's got a lot of these chokes, these high grounds, these areas that can funnel a lot of Zerglings into small areas that are just really beneficial for splash damage. You can see great sieging up on these high grounds behind the mineral lines and multiple areas that are just asking to be hit by tanks. So we're probably going to see Slush going for some kind of Broodlord play, and if you can kind of rush towards that by about like the 14-15 minute mark, he might have a very strong opportunity to just to crush a normal max-ish Terran push that involves many tanks.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense that we'd end up seeing those kind of things. And we actually have a command center first out of Binsky, so I mean, if you can get away with this unpunished, then he will have a nice little economic advantage in this game. And I mean, do you think that Slush should try and punish this in some way, or do you think he should just try and expand on his own to his third very quickly? What do you think he should probably do?
Him seeing this, he's gonna not really be able to take a ton of advantage of it. He's gonna see the timing and think, okay, I'm probably going to want to take a third, because what this means with this command center first is that I do not need to worry about Hellions until maybe 7 minutes in or something. So I can easily throw down a third base at around 6:30, 6 minutes if I really want to be greedy, and it will not be able to be contested. The Lings are out. There's no way there's going to be able to have anything blocking there. The SCV is going to be forced back at that point, and then we'll see a hyper macro game, I think, from both players.
Cool, cool. And with that barracks finishing up, I would actually, or everything finishing up for Binsky, I'd like to see those gas geysers being taken sometime in the near future, unless he intends to put on a ton of marine aggression, which I mean that would be a little bit weird in this situation, I feel.
He may even go for another command center.
Oh my God. Yeah, his money is getting up there. This is going to be a super greedy build.
I actually, this is, yeah, there it is. The third command center now goes down. It was either going to be a third command center or him throwing down 4 racks just immediately. And the thing is, both of them are very viable for very different reasons. But now we're going to see Binsky probably take the next couple gas geysers and then go for his real reactor Hellion play or a big bio play or some kind of push where he goes for stim or gets his engineering base out. He's got options. And the thing is, Slush needs to see those because the responses to those are quite different.
To be a bio play, as we see a couple of those barracks actually going down, creating a nice little wall of his. He's definitely going to need that, especially with how few units he's going to have just because he invested in those two very early command centers. And yeah, with 3 barracks out, he should be in a decent position to defend, at least for a little bit. But my question is, when is Slush going to actually figure out what's going on, and how is he going to react?
He's figured out right now. He's going to react with probably a Nidus Worm or some kind of weird, fast Spire play because his lair is now halfway done. And he's getting out more gas. He's getting his third gas geyser now out at his natural. And I believe that... Oh, wait, is a Roach Worm down as well? I think we're going to be seeing a Nidus play from him with Ling and Roach play.
Oh, that would be so cool. Just completely bypass the wall and even probably the bunkers that are going down over at Binsky's natural expansion. And I mean, does he even have really a big enough marine count to actually deal with something like that?
Not if he doesn't see it coming, doesn't land a lot more a lot more defenses, because he's going for double eBay right now. He's going to go for upgrades. He's just trying to play for the late game. And if Slush can take advantage of this dark spot in his main base and it can get his knights from down there, that would be incredibly huge. Plus, there is this Overlord outside natural expansion. He could throw down multiple knights from exits and just go for a ton of aggression, both the main and the natural.
Yeah, and just speaking of multiple nice rooms, he even has that overload up on along the top side, and he's going to be approaching the main. So I think you could very, very much be right about this. But the infestation pit is going to be finishing up in just a couple of seconds. So, I mean, do you think he's going to be going for some kind of infestor push with infested Terran, or?
Maybe. He's going for that now, and he doesn't really have the gas to support a nice network now. He's going for the third base too. He's just going for hyper quick infestor roach, which could actually crush bio in a lot of scenarios. Because if you think about the fact that you have the roaches able to range attack, you add that to the fungal DPS, and just the damage that can be dished out, it could be atrocious for Terran.
Yeah, and I love this little aggression that Slush is doing with just 3 roaches. Oh my god, the Marauder just popping out. He should be able to... Oh no, actually no concussive shells on that. Those roaches will get away just fine, but I like just doing that little bit of pressure and forcing a reaction out of Binski.
Alright. So guys, if you would be so kind as to go to xanderfever.tv/vote and let us know you think it's going to be winning, that'd be wonderful. Because I don't like seeing a 50-50 split in the voting. I want to see someone being the favored.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, who are you thinking might be in a better situation in this game?
It's unclear, because it would all depend on how soon Binski wants to attack, because he's now going to have to deal with ever-increasing amount of infestors. So he pushes out, and the infestors can catch them on creep, land a fungal, and then get the legs and everything to get around them and just chain the fungals. His army will die immediately. In this case, Binski's army would die immediately, and it would be so interesting to see how then Slush will respond if he goes for hyper macro or hyper tech, because it's unclear which one would be better for him at this point.
Yeah, but I do feel like, for Binski, just because, again, he's invested so heavily in that late game situation, he went for the very fast 3 command centers. He's been going for those double upgrades. Could actually start +2/+2 right now. And I feel like if he's going to do any aggression, he should just maybe do 1 dropship worth of aggression. I don't think moving out across the map with his entire army is the best decision right now.
We'll see, but there's now a single Ling that's going to start attacking this third base, and it actually just forced a couple Lings, a couple SCVs off thing. All you did try to do was pick off a mule, but that actually would have been a pretty significant thing to kill, actually. Alright, but here we go. 5, oh, they land the fungal. Oh, they land the fungal.
Oh.
And there's going to be chain fungals, and that gives Slush a slight edge, I would think. But now he's going to try, and he's not going to invest his energy in taking down the medevacs, interestingly enough. He's going to go ahead and start pushing. There is no more wall at the natural expansion. Binski's going to take a lot of losses here at his third in terms of workers and SCVs, because he can't really work on getting those guys down. We have Binski. He needs to... Oh, why was there no hold position on those SCVs? He would have... On the Lings to kill the SCVs, that would have been huge, but there we have the infestors now pushing forward. We need to see a fungal. Oh, there's a fungal.
Those fungals are going to be so critical if you can actually start to kill off some of those SCVs. We do see a ton of them drop, and at this point we have 15 workers already killed by Slush, so he's already getting himself into a really great position with this aggression. And after knowing that he was able to clean up that army, just like you were saying, Xander, those infestors are able to fungal up that army just to pieces.
Yeah, very, very effective play. And the thing is, right now, we're just having the tanks starting to come out from Binski. He was really utilizing the Marauders and placed the tanks during that time. And can you imagine just how much siege mode would have made a difference? Because he could have then picked off the infestors with the siege tanks, since that would end up being their priority target. Because these Lings have their +1 carapace. They're not going to die to a single shot from a tank.
Yeah, exactly. And we do actually see Hive on the way for Slush, so... Oh my god, I feel like Binski might be in a bit of trouble if he is not able to do anything before either Broodlords, and I think it's going to be Broodlords because of that Spire timing as well, going to be lining up perfectly with that Hive timing. But, I mean, is Binski even going to be prepared for Broodlords? He still needs to make that medevac count a little bit higher to be able to actually stim to his heart's content.
Yeah, he's actually trying to get that nice biomech force where he goes for the tanks after the Marines and everything, but he's actually being oddly delayed by getting those Marauders. His tank count should be a little bit higher, and it's going to end up delaying his switch to a starport producing Vikings and everything. And this Infestor count is going to be devastating once you couple them with Broodlords.
Oh, over the natural expansion of the Zerg player, we actually have a drop coming in. It's loaded up with 2 Marauders and a couple of Marines. He's actually dropping right next to the Infestation Pit. He could actually snipe that off, and that would be a really nice win for him.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead. There's the death of the Queen, and there we have a lot of links pushing forward, but Binski doesn't have a really abusive positioning that would help him a lot. But we do have the links pushing forward, and there's the death of that, yeah, very nicely handled drop. Does not manage much.
Yeah, unfortunately for Binski, as I feel like he still needs to make a little bit of something happen. Although, actually, the supply is showing that he has about a 20 supply lead, so kind of interesting. And, with this positioning over here of the siege tanks and even the Zone Lago Watchtower, he might actually be in a pretty good position if an engagement does end up happening here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to look out, but I don't think Slush is going to be engaging until he has Broodlords at this point. He's got a nice count of Corruptors, 7 Corruptors on the field, but now I think Ben's going to need to attack before he has to deal with the Broodlords, and he may be able to hit that timing, but he's losing a couple Marines just to Fungals.
Yeah, he has to be so careful about those, those Marines that are stemming forward as he tries to just kind of move those siege tanks up slowly but surely, and they are actually going to be able to move into range and start picking off some of those creep tumors. This is going to be so important, as it's so dangerous for a Terran player to actually push across on top of that creep, just because those Zerglings and even potentially in the future Banelings can just get right on top of those Marines.
Yeah, now we're just having a lot of Marines getting picked off. Just look at this one with 1 health left,
God.
still engaging the. Oh, there we go. But the Broodlords are out, and they're gonna start working on taking this army. That may be, yeah. Binski's just like, oh, time to just retreat, because this is gonna be a really unfortunate engagement for him. There's a tank going down, but Slush is gonna push this advantage.
Yeah, and I feel like, oh my god, a nice phone. He's actually going to have 2 siege tanks as well as a couple of Marines. That's a really nice one. And behind all these Broodlords, he's going to be able to unsiege these tanks once again. Might be able to get, oh my god, if he gets another 2 siege tanks, he's going to be in such a good position right now.
Yeah, there's, look like it gets saved by the medevac. There we see the medevac dropping these guys down again, but there is going to be the Fungals, we have the Broodlings coming in as well, and Slush is really doing a good job of just continuing to engage. These Broodlords are in a perfect spot. They can't get hit by Marines very effectively. There's just the Broodlings hanging out in limbo. GG gets called, and that is going to be giving this series to Slush 2-1. Really nice showing by him. That's a great use of strategy. Tricking even me. I mean, we were talking about the Nidus Worms for so long, and it never came.
Yeah, I feel like that game really came down to just the fact that Binski tried to move out with that, relatively small force after going for, that very fast third command center, going for the double upgrade.